Right, so come home from work and a lovely little surprise, 300-day login reward, the Zenistar. So let's see what this is all about. Got a rough idea of how I should test this out first, as soon as I can actually remember where I put the right frame that I was going to use it on. Zenistar, awesome. Nah, I think I'm good without that. Don't have a lot of these. That's pretty good. Well, that's going to be getting forward for Tempo Royale. For the moment, we'll put in the actual stance I've actually got on Worthy. And Primed Reach, I'm pretty sure about. And then for the others, just going to go for the standard status. That's 85% status chance, bit of corrosive, bit of blast. Quickly upgrade rending crane.
Operator, did you hear that? It said cosmic background radiation is a riot.
That should give me enough to put prime pressure point on. Seems like a good start.
Excellent armaments, operator. Please return covered in blood. Safe and sound.
We're on solo. So, shall we? Right, so done a little bit of playing around off camera quickly. One thing I have noticed about this is, well, for a start, it actually looks pretty darn awesome. However, the attack speed is ridiculously slow. So slow that thinking that the primed Fury 55% attack speed increase probably will not make much of a difference. However, let's just see how it works as a utility because of its charge effect. You after you do a charge attack, the little disc pops out and that you see that aura. Primed Reach affects that. To what range I am not sure. It doesn't actually affect the animation as such. It's a standard animation, but you can see enemies coming out taking a bit of damage from it. Corrosive Blast I would probably say is the best, mainly for the fact that you get that blast damage, so it does act as crowd control while it is in use. Corrosive, obviously, we all know and love a bit of corrosive. And just see how far this actually goes.
Warframe is strong.
It's cleared one wave rather quickly, which is actually quite impressive, so just charge it back up, throw it out again, and just see what happens. Activate my Zenuric because I'm wanting to check something at one point, which I'll get into soon. It does seem rather effective. Got a little timer up in the top right, as you can probably see. It's just hit 1 second, so try and beat it to the punch. No, you can't really actually beat it to the punch and throw it back out when it comes back into you. Oh well. Oh, it's ended up above me. It does seem to be a cylindrical effect, so say it covers, I think, probably about 15 meters by the looks of it. It will cover that 15 meters all the way down and all the way up from what I have noticed. And the thing I actually wanted to check was with Equinox's fourth ability, how quickly it can charge it. And you can see already I'm near enough 3,500 in stored proc damage, which is really good. I'm now at 17,000. That's brilliant. I'm going to fire it straight up just to test my little cylindrical theory of how much damage it does, and as you can see it is still doing damage to things in the area. All seems to be working rather well. Kind of wish the animation size of that disc increased just to show you how far Prime Breach is actually going. Just that way you could sort of maneuver it into choke points to cover the best areas. Just sort of give you a bit of a clue how far you're actually going. That would be pretty cool.
For the tunnel.
And I kind of wish there was another way to recall it. Obviously it only lasts for 40 seconds, so you could just leave it for that 40-second duration. It will come back to you automatically. However, I kind of wish, say like you put it in the wrong place or if the situation changes, you could possibly press R for reload, what you would normally use to reload your primary or secondary, and it would bring it back automatically then from having, instead of having to do a charge attack. I think that would be pretty good. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers, and to be honest, 40 seconds seems like a reasonable amount of time. So I suppose it sounded a bit weird if you could get like a duration mod on melee, or perhaps if the status duration affected it. Might have to test that one out to see if that affects the length of time that the disc can be put out. But in all, it seems rather well thought out. Can't really see it becoming used, particularly by me. I can't really see me using it as a melee weapon as we know a melee weapon would be used, as i.e. running around and swinging it at things. I can't really see that happening. It's just very slow, and to be perfectly honest, that disc is just far more effective. Another frame to look at with this weapon, the Zenistar, is actually Ivara. The disc counts as a projectile, and Ivara's second ability obviously controls projectiles. So that's, well, in a nutshell, you can basically just control it and move it around the room, which is actually really quite handy, particularly for just corridors, etc. As well as, while it is static, you can jump onto it. Perhaps you could probably use that as like a camera to see if anything's coming up behind you or blah blah blah. However, it does also increase the duration at some point as well. It seems to sort of cancel out the length of time that you were actually on it. Here you can see, just moving it around with Ivara's second ability can be quite effective. It's also a little bit disorientating. It's hard to actually see up and down, particularly due to the disc's aura effect. And well, it's also rather hard to see where it lands, which is a bit annoying. Kind of wish they changed the view slightly for that, but it's not really a big deal. But still, it's a pretty good weapon. I will be using it a lot more for the disc than the weapon style itself. I've tested out Lasting Sting. The status duration has no effect on it. Bit disappointing again. Kind of hoping you could possibly increase the duration of such. along with the fact that the duration actually counts from the moment it's thrown from 45 seconds. So it depends on how long it takes for it to land. Which at what point when it does land, it'll be about 42, maybe 40 seconds, kind of which the duration started from when it landed, because that's when the actual effect comes in. But pretty good weapon. I'm pretty happy with it. Probably a bit of a keeper. Come in handy for defences like this. It's an extra line of defence. So for me, I'll be keeping this. But anyway, that's me. Thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.